it's not necessarily he's the star, but he'll knock whatever he's doing out of the park, a la Tommy Boy.
There's some grace, Mr. Aykroyd. So he throws some wadded up cash at his face, like, all right, punk ass, here,
Slush
give me
money.
some orange Lazarus.
Here's
Yeah, some slush
here's
money.
some slush money, you bitch.
Bart steps in like, look, I got a plan. When Allison comes out of her house, we soak her with the hose.
Yeah.
Happened in the 90s.
I think it was about a week ago you were talking about how you never really cared for David Lynch movies, but you think the dude is cool. Like, you'd be glad to smoke a L with him.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, shake hands with the man. There's somebody I feel like that about. I know I'm gonna get crucified for this shit, but Dan Aykroyd, bro, I'm gonna be all the way real with you.
What?
Exactly. I know. Like, I don't think he's a bad person, but for the clout, for all the stuff that he's been like given, I don't have him on that hierarchy. I don't. Like, all the stuff that he's in, I watched it and I think it's great because of the other people, a la Ghostbusters. It goes Bill Murray, then Rick Moranis, and then Sigourney Weaver, sexy ass. And then I'd probably even put Harold Ramis before Dan Aykroyd. You know, I never cared for Blues
He got
Brothers.
the Ghost BJ, dude. He got the Ghost Beach.
Sure, okay.
Okay, keep going. Continue.
Never cared about Blues Brothers. The Trading Places, I think most of us came for Eddie. To be fair, Coneheads, he did his thing with that, the movie and on SNL. And then he had a recurring character on SNL, like the Vegomatic, where he's trying to sell like all these bullshit items. Like, that was funny. So like,
hell yeah.
I don't want to rag on the man like we did Clint Eastwood. And by all accounts, I really think Dan Aykroyd's a cool guy. It's the same deal. Like how you said with David Lynch, I would love to smoke a joint with Dan Aykroyd. Let's chop it up. Like, you have a thesaurus of experiences, man, from working with all these greats, man. Like, you were in Tommy Boy. You were one of the original 7 of SNL. You were in Ghostbusters, bro. Even though like you weren't the one I was like really, like all you worked with.
Was he in My Girl too? I'm just throwing out another legendary 90s movie.
You worked with Macaulay. So like, yeah, dude, I would love to chill with somebody like Dan Aykroyd. And you're Canadian. You know, that's my rule. Canadians are cool.
You know what, Steve? First, I was a little shocked, but when you sold it that way, I'm kind of on the same. I'm kind of in agreement here because you're right. No one's coming to a Dan Aykroyd movie, period, solo. It just never happened. You were like Ghostbusters, of course. I don't give a shit about Blues Brothers like you. I'm glad that I'm not alone in that. Could give a shit. But I feel like that's his strong suit, you know? He's like
Being
a
the straight
John
man
in that way, where he's like, he'll come in and it's not necessarily he's the star, but he'll knock whatever he's doing out of the park, a la Tommy Boy.
There's some grace, Mr. Aykroyd, and I'll smoke a bag of that. But Tommy Boy, it goes Chris, David, and even Rob Lowe. But I will say, Dan Aykroyd, he did his thing for what it's worth, man. He's a good complimentary piece. There you go, man. I don't want this to be a rag session because, again, I do think you're a cool guy.
Aykroyd, yeah. It's just like we got to just like move him over a little bit. We got to reclassify. But I would love to hang out because now he's turned into kind of a weird old dude. He's selling liquor and skull bottles. I don't know if you remember that coming out back in the day.
Yeah.
Little skull bottle of vodka, I think it was. He's hella into UFOs. Like a lot of this stuff that he was talking about in Ghostbusters, like extra dimensional beings and stuff like that. Maybe it was associated with his father, but he's super into that stuff. It would veer into a weird place, but a fun place.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know when to leave the conversation at that point before we get to Alex Jones territory. Yeah.
Black helicopters.
Yeah.
But shout out Dan Aykroyd. You've been around and you're a legend because of that. The longevity, the associations, you know.
Yeah.
He can call on a lot of cool people too. So shout out Danny. But fuck Blues Brothers.
Fuck Blues Brothers. And you know what? I'm going to preemptively do this for the viewers of the clip when it comes out, for the listeners. Oh, well, at least he's had a career. What are you doing? You're just sitting on a podcast, sitting on your chair, talking to your friend, talking shit. I get it. I'm not as accomplished as Dan Aykroyd. I agree
Absolutely
with you. Potential naysayers of me. I get it. All right.
Can I defend you preemptively, Steve, against the haters and the naysayers?
Because you know what's going to happen.
What have you done? Because we're making the podcast. You're sitting here listening, commenting. So how sad is your so-called life?
Your commenters?
Yeah.
This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Mariah Carey tapes and your Jim Carrey posters, because we're talking about the 90s, talking about the 90s, the 90s, talking about the 90s, the 90s.
The funky 90s.
Today, my friend, we're talking all things September 11th in the 90s. Starting off in 1990, Too Short will release his 6th album, Short Dogs in the House.
Bitch. Dude.
That's my favorite word.
I mean, Too Short, Steve, he's on the Mount Rushmore.
Of Cali or just in general?
I was thinking about this listening to the album over the weekend. If you just think about like longevity, he's been doing it longer than like Snoop, right?
He's been doing this longer than we've been alive,
Yeah.
man. His first album was 83, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. So in that way, I feel like he has to be. As far as West Coast, especially like Bay Area rap, he is, obviously.
To some, he's the GOAT. It's between him and E40. And there was a guy named Mac Dre who passed away.
Yeah.
He had a cult following. But yeah, it's a subjective thing, man, because to your point, yes, he's had probably the greatest longevity in all of rap, man. He's still going. But if that's your flavor.
Yeah. No, I get it. And I'm the same way. I mean, he kind of like bridged the gap between like that 80s hip hop and this too. But that being said, I don't know if you can trademark the word bitch, but he should. It's made him famous and will make him famous forever. I mean, people sample that, people say it all the time. Personally, my favorite song is Just Another Day, because it's kind of like that perfect mix of like G-funk beats and his rap style. But this album I didn't realize this was his freaking 6th album, which is crazy. I mean, I enjoyed it.
I'm a big enough fan to where I can listen to him consistently on a 2-hour playlist because he has that kind of catalog. But on this album, I added a couple to the playlist. The Ghetto.
Yep.
I added the song Ain't Nothing But a Word to Me with Ice Cube. Pimpology.
Pimpology is nasty.
Hard on the Boulevard, because it is sometimes. And one of my favorites was Punk Bitch.
What was the other one? Oh, In the Oaktown. I just like the beat. The beats in this are fucking insane.
They are, man.
And he has a cool story, because wasn't he like making mixtapes, like tailor-made raps for like drug dealers in the Bay Area to start out? Like that's kind of how he funded his rap career to start out and stuff.
Selling them out the trunk.
That's crazy. But it's not my favorite of his albums. It doesn't have my favorite song, but I mean, The Ghetto is, I feel like that needs to be in movies. You know, I need to hear this.
Shout out to Too Short, man. We're fans. Also in 1990, Warrant would release Cherry Pie. This is their 2nd studio album. They're a little too late with all of this.
Dude. God, they suck, Steve. I never liked this song. I just found it funny. You know, it seems like just like a spoof song almost. It's so on the nose, but this is cheeseball. This is a decade too late. And from what I'm reading, I'm glad I'm reading this. It seems like the good stuff that we're hearing in it, maybe some of those tasty guitar licks, they didn't even play them. They got a bunch of like other music. The guy from Poison played the Cherry Pie shit. CC DeVille?
CC DeVille? Jesus.
Apparently there's another guy, Mike Slammer or Slammer. I hope it's Slammer. The rumor is that he actually did all of the guitar work in this. And that the two dudes, Eric Turner and Joey Allen, played nothing. So Warrant just plagiarizing, stealing, I guess. Cherry Pie sounds like a Poison song,
Yeah.
you know?
They're like the Milli Vanillis of rock.
Basically, they just were like, the formula works, guys, but it would have worked a decade previously. But this is a
Dude.
90, and they're like, yeah, dude, like, let's just get the hair really blown out. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's really lean into this. I got the cod piece.
Let's bring it back. We're going to rejuvenate this era, this genre. But that's why I wanted to cover it. Like, I could have sworn this album came out in the 80s, and like I find it funny that they're still holding on to this in the 90s. Like, maybe they haven't been completely lopped off yet, chopped off. Like, Nirvana hasn't came out. Alice in Chains just came out for the first time, so we haven't gotten a feel for the grunge, because that was the knockout punch, the Soundgardens, the Pearl Jams.
Yeah, I mean, they just snuck in. They squeaked this one in right before
Yeah.
that stuff came out. I feel like the record label was seeing it too, and they're like, just put this out before these other guys. We get this Alice in Chains out, because
Yeah.
Joey's probably going to need to do some financial reassignment. But yeah, this whole album, and dude, I gave it a shot because I've been like quietly shocked about how much I'm starting to like 80s and 90s like rock a little bit. Like, I'll listen to it and have some fun, but there's some weird messaging in some of the songs. They're all like these shitty power ballads from like the 80s that we all know and love, not from this band. But there's this one song called Uncle Tom's Cabin, and I'm pretty sure like they're either alluding to some sort of molestation. I don't know. There's a secret about Uncle Tom, and there's a cabin, and I don't fully understand what I heard, Steve, but I'm concerned.
That's weird, because the Uncle Tom's Cabin, from my recollection, had some like racial connotation.
I hope it's not that. God forbid.
Same, but yeah, Warrant, as they say in the South, bless your hearts. In 1992, Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth premieres. An investigative reporter must send the newly unbound Pinhead and his legions back to hell. Directed by Anthony Hickox, starring Terry Farrell, Paula Marshall, Kevin Bernhardt, and Doug Bradley.
I tried. I texted you. I said, maybe Hellraiser 3 will make me a believer, because I've never liked Pinhead. It's stupid.
Yeah. I never thought of him being in the same table as Freddy, Jason, Michael, Chucky. I'll throw It Clown on there. Like, those guys, they get the steak. They get the tartare.
Yeah, dude.
You, Pinhead, you get the leftovers. You get the scraps.
You're
Make some soul
creepy
food.
guy in the dorm nobody wants. Like, dude, get away from us. We don't want to see your weird videos.
You're not one of us.
Hey. He says pleasures too much, too. He's just a weird sex freak. You know, he's in the lifestyle, just rubbing where his nipples used to be.
I do like when he killed the characters, though, because they should have been killed for all that bad acting. It's like, oh, that's one less that we have to deal with. It was the acting itself was cringe.
My God, dude. Monroe, the weird, like, sexy artist guy that just loves fucking sniz and throwing him out, dude.
I could not wait for him to die.
Dude.
I wanted him to die. I wanted him to be the first fatality. I hated his haircut. I hated his look. I hate the way he talked. Like, Pinhead, just come through.
He busted a nut in the most insane way. He does like a fucking Titanic spread. And then he gets shitty with the chick afterwards. He's like, get out of here. You should be so lucky. Wipe yourself off.
That's the one thing that I'll give Hellraiser 3. I was kind of like rooting for Pinhead, which, you know, I typically don't do in horror movies. He's supposed to be the bad guy, the monster, but it's like, man, these people are fucking turds. Rid of them all.
Here's what I don't like. Because the look, I mean, it's creepy looking. You know, I can dig the makeup effects. But there's two things I hate. One, his weird, dramatic, like, it's almost like Frasier's talking sexy. It's like, you can divine yourself in the pleasures of the flesh. Like, I hate that. Because he'll turn people into, like, his little followers, these little, like, xenomorphs or whatever they're called. And they look like shit. Like, you show me some pictures of your past, like, soldiers, I'd be like, what is it? This guy looks like a fucking white baked potato with some shit coming out of his butt. Or like the Monroe guy, he gets turned into one of them, and he's just got like some kind of weird like sex machine fucking his head. You know, it was very weird. Like the guy who gets like a camera shoved in his face. Remember
And then he shoves it into a guy's forehead.
that? Ready for your close up, Joey? It's very just stupid. You know, so shame on you, Pinhead. Go back to your fucking box for a while.
Weird. The shame on the whole series, the whole franchise. Also in 1992, Sneakers premieres in theaters. A security pro finds his past returning to haunt him when he and his unique team are tasked with retrieving a particularly important item. Directed by Phil Alden Robinson, starring Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley, Mary McDonnell, River Phoenix, Sidney Poitier, David Strathairn, Donald Logue, and James Earl Jones.
Dude, we were talking about this, and I couldn't remember if this movie was good or not, but dude, this movie's tight.
Yeah,
I
it was
enjoyed
cool.
this. It is like Ocean's 11 almost, but just with old
Yeah.
people.
Got Dan Aykroyd. I mean, you do have River Phoenix, R.I.P. to that legend.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of dug this, man. It's fun. Like Robert Redford's like one of these guys, and I guess this happens in real life where you become so good at a crime that you get hired by legitimate businesses to help them prevent that crime from happening, basically. So he's like a security consultant, and he's just got a team of people where they just like go into businesses, show them the like the areas of like interest or whatever for criminals and get paid. And I thought that's just kind of like a badass premise. But I think like at some point they steal or find like this chip that is basically a chip that can just it just it's an instant hack device. You have this like one thing and you can get into anything, you know? And it's almost like it's national security risk. So then they get caught up in that. But dude, I dug this movie, to be honest, upon rewatch.
And Ben Kingsley, his character Cosmo, he knew Robert Redford from way back in the day. I think they were in college or around that age. And their intentions were good at first. They kind of had this Robin Hood mentality where they wanted to hack into banks and all of these like successful business, these wealthy businesses, and kind of even it out with the poor.
Yeah. And in fact, that's kind of what like Ben Kingsley like continues that. And isn't it like three people that created the chip, I think? And he's one of them. But essentially what he tells Robert Redford at one point is like, look, man, like nobody else is going to do this. So if we can like basically throw the system, we can just like turn itself over on itself. There's no debt that like we erase all the ownership of everything. So everybody
Yeah.
has equal stake in the world. I thought that seemed super cool because like it's just him and Robert Redford. And Robert Redford, dude, that guy is like a pretty badass actor, dude. Because in that scene, he's like,
Yeah.
and like, did you go crazy? Because they're friends and stuff. It's like a fun conversation, but man, I don't know, and it's a cool premise. Like everybody kind of knocks it out, and even like we were kind of like bagging on him a little bit. But Aykroyd, I like his character. He is kind of like what I just said he turned into, which is like a conspiracy theorist, techno freak, dude.
Ironically, man. So there's some more grace for you, Mr. Aykroyd, but some of the characters were based off of real people, some world famous hackers, if you will. One of the guys, John Captain Crunch Draper, and another guy named Joseph Joy Bubbles Ingresia. You know, these guys were consultants. I think they rubbed elbows. John Draper at least rubbed elbows with Steve Jobs. And who was his partner from the Apple?
Shit, Steve. I know.
Well, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's got a beard.
So yeah, he's rubbed elbows with some important people in the tech game, man. So yeah, I like inspired from a true story flick myself, man.
Well, I think also James Earl Jones's character is named off like a similar consultant as well that was like in the movie Robert Abbott. He designed the first time sharing multi-user operating system for the Controlled Data Corporation, the predecessor of the Cray YMP seen in the movie. He's often referred to as the the father of information security. So that guy's probably rich or dead. Probably a good portion of the people in this movie, but banger. And it looks cool too. There's a lot of cool scenes. One guy, I forget his name, he's in a lot of stuff. He's in that movie Good Night and Good Luck. He plays like a guy on the team that's blind.
David Straighthair.
Yeah, and like he has to like drive a van and stuff. They like have him drive this like getaway van and everything. It's like a cool caper flick, you know. They like come up with these plans. They're all kind of like cool spy. Robert Redford especially is kind of like a American James Bond type, just very smooth. And I mean, you get some James Earl Jones at the end too, dude. I love it.
Full of stars. On that same day, Where the Day Takes You premieres. King is a young man, but he's already a veteran of life on the streets of Los Angeles. The leader of a group of runaways, King acts as a mentor to troubled kids, such as gay hustler Little J and Junkie Greg. Directed by Mark Rocco, starring Sean Astin, Lara Flynn Boyle, Peter Dobson, Balthazar Getty, Ricky Lake, James LaGrosse, Dermot Mulroney, and Will Smith.
God.
Yeah.
Did you say Kyle MacLachlan? He's in this too.
Not only Kyle MacLachlan, but the butch chick from Facts of Life, Nancy McKean, as well as David Arquette, future WCW heavyweight champion. Like, these are stars in the making. I think Will Smith is already known at this point as the Fresh Prince. And I thought 6 Degrees of Separation was his first movie, but it actually started here.
Manny. I just love seeing Sean Astin doing some bad kid stuff, to be honest. Rudy even getting arrested.
He's a J-Cat. Yeah. Kyle MacLachlan is his drug dealer, and the butch chick from Facts of Life plays his girlfriend. Will Smith has no legs.
I mean, shit's fucked up in LA in the early 90s, Steve. These kids are going through it. I don't want to hang out with these kids, to be honest. They're jumping on trains. They're getting arrested. They're doing junk in the streets.
Shooting people.
Fuck it.
And the dude, Little J, the gay guy, he's played by Balthazar Getty, and I swear he's a spitting image of Charlie Sheen. He looks just like Charlie Sheen, especially in this movie. It's the same guy that was in Lord of the Flies. He was like the lead character that wasn't Piggy.
Yeah, dude, I recognized his face. And he does have a Sheen look. He definitely looks like they hung out in similar, like he's a body double at least.
Shit, he might be his nephew. I don't know. It's
blood.
too close.
Give me a little of that tiger blood.
And Laura San Giacomo, what show was she on in NBC? I always thought she was a cute little.
She creeps me out. She was a weird, she was in Just Shoot Me.
Just Shoot Me with David Spade. Yep.
She was also Kit in Pretty Woman, which was sexy.
Oh yeah, I like her.
She was in something where she was like creepy. She was kind of like sexual in it. What wasn't it? The Stand. It was something that we watched recently. She's a bad girl and she's a little sexy in it. She gets a little crazy. She is in The Stand. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, man. Tell me, don't sleep on Laura San Giacomo.
It's a very sexy name. It's exotic.
Yeah. Take me to another place. Well, that following year, 1993, Legends of the Hidden Temple premieres on Nickelodeon. It would last 3 seasons, 120 episodes. I think they split it between Nickelodeon and CW. It came back for one more season, and it aired 13 episodes.
Dude, Olmec? When Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Do you think somebody has Olmec in their house?
Dude, it's probably in an abandoned building right now.
Some homeless guy has like the most badass crib in the street. It just has Olmec out there. He talks through it. That'd be dope. But
Universal Studios, I feel like a lot of stuff that they should have preserved, they didn't. Like, the Double Dare slide, Olmec, some of the crag from Guts. Like, once it closed, they were just like, oh, fuck all this shit.
They're fucking up because you just set those up and charge like people our age just to go and fuck around there. It's a gold mine. I'd go there and like do some of those things. Back to Legends of the Hidden Temple, Steve. LHTs, as those in the know call it. I dug it. It wasn't my favorite Nickelodeon game show. There was just a lot of great ones. Nick Arcade, Double Dare, Guts. Wild and Crazy Kids to a lesser extent. I enjoyed it. I always wanted to do it. I thought it was terrifying that when you ran through the final thing, there would just be crazy like jungle people that just drug you into the depths, I guess.
Aborigines or some shit.
But it was a way to learn some history, you know. It was a way to kill 25 minutes on an afternoon watching some Nickelodeon as a kid. You could do worse.
Yeah. On top of several things, the 90s was also a golden age for child game shows.
Dude, I don't even, do they exist anymore? Because this shit,
No.
I think it's probably because of the lawsuit shit, you know? You might get injured, something. You take a spear to the eye, one of these jungle people come out at you.
Dan Schneider pops up.
Every once in a while, he'll come out and drag you into the depths. Hey, where's my kid? I don't know, kid.
Why do you have socks in your mouth, sir?
Okay. And I didn't dig the host of this. I think he was kind of corny. They could have done better. Maybe bring the guy from Nick Arcade here.
Kirk Fogg.
Yeah, Kirk Fogg. He wasn't giving me what I wanted out of the host, but I think they were killing it. I think that you pointed out something interesting. The 90s were just a treasure trove for child game shows. And, back in the day, I loved that.
Also in 1993, SWAT Cats, The Radical Squadron debuts on TBS. It would last 2 seasons, 26 episodes.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this was one of the best cartoons of all time, but watching it, like the preview and the intro, I dug the animation. It's almost kind of like got a anime style to it. Some lowly cat mechanics. Also have a cool ass freaking jet somewhere in like this secret base, and some dope ass threads whenever they go to SWAT Cat mode.
You know what made SWAT Cats possible, or what I think made SWAT Cats possible, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think because of the success of anthropomorphic turtles, then we got some anthropomorphic cats that kick ass. We had biker mice from Mars who could kick ass. We had cowboys of Moo Mesa, fucking cows that can walk on 2 feet and shoot.
Also, Darkwing Duck, stuff like that. That was kind of an action show. But you're right. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, shit like that. Dino Riders, that was another one I used to love. But SWAT
Battletoads.
Battletoads. I don't know if that was even a cartoon, but the game was dope. But yeah, dude, SWAT Cats, slapping ass theme song. Maybe the guy, one of the people that Warren used to play on their album, played it because it's shredding. Yeah, these guys got a cool ass jet, and basically they're just lording over Mega Cat City, going up against some like pretty intense looking villains. There's like a mysterious like cat magician guy, very like cat whiz. There's a lot of magic in it too, which is weird that they're going up against people with magic with a jet. But I guess you blow a guy up, he can't do any magic.
That's why they're the Radical Squadron. But also in 1993, Saved by the Bell, the new class, debuts on TNBC. It will last way too long. I'm talking about 7 seasons, 143 episodes.
And I wasn't tuning into this, Steve. We had the pure. These people are taking cuts shit. I couldn't believe 7 seasons because I was like, maybe I'm hating and I just didn't pay attention. And these people went on to like have good careers. No, Belding's pretty much the most famous person in this shit. Screech is dead. And all these people just didn't do shit after this. I don't even remember this, Steve. I didn't remember any of like the stories or anything.
Bianca Lawson, one of the unsung hotties of the 90s, she would pop up on various episodes of TV shows that we did watch. I know she had a recurring character on Sister Sister, amongst other things. Like, I do remember watching the pilot episode because I was such a fan of the original Saved by the Bell. And it was basically like, let's keep this formula and just replace the names. I hate when people do, when shows, series, or even movies do that shit. it kind of reminded me of Saturday Night Live when the original cast left, and then the very first episode with the newer cast, they were like, huh, I'm going to be the Bill Murray guy. I'm supposed to be the Chevy Chase guy. Or, she's like Gilda Radner, and then that'll be like the Jane Curry. Like, be your own fucking thing. You already set yourself up for failure. Screech was Screech, Zach was Zach, Lisa was Lisa, Kelly was Kelly. Like, the new class is supposed to be new.
Yeah. I mean, the writers just had, I guess it's like, what do we do, guys? What can we change here? I think it's just lazy, honestly, is probably what it was. They're like, why change it? If it's not broke, don't fix it. But you're right. It's just like watered down. Nobody's doing as good as the original, and how could they? I didn't care about it. Maybe there's some kids that are like younger than us, love this shit, and they think about it like how we think about Saved by the Bell. Doubt it. Looks like some PBS shit. Like, Saved by the Bell wasn't blowing anybody's socks off production-wise. This looks somehow less than that. Look at the set. Look at the wall behind it. They just got a fucking weird American flag crumpled up on the wall. Yeah. Come on, guys. Suck it up.
Yeah. They didn't even bring back our homeboy PTO. Like,
yeah. What? Screech and Dennis Haskins were the only two guys you could get? Fuck, dude. Get Lisa. Get somebody else. Because it just wasn't hitting, Steve. We don't need to kick a dead horse.
Tisk. But that following year, 1994, Pete and Pete is airing season 2, episode 2, Field of Pete. Big Pete is finally on a winning baseball team. Their secret? Using Little Pete to distract the other team by yelling at them while they're at bat. Then the yelling starts to distract Big Pete.
I think this is one of my favorite classic episodes, honestly, Steve. The trash talk and the Orange Julius aspect of this, the weirdness. And I actually want to point out, because we actually said his name, but I think some of the weird, creepy vibe that you get in Pete and Pete is inspired in almost like a David Lynch style. A weird guy that's the coach. Yeah, how they show him and stuff. It just is, I think maybe that it was a little Lynch rubbed off on whoever was making this, but yeah, dude, I love this episode. Baseball season, Steve. Big Pete, always been a loser, perennial loser on baseball, never really done much. The stats don't show up, but he thinks this year something's going to change. Something's going to be different.
He used to love that game until he met Ed Narens, and I think he's the manager of his baseball team. He's kind of like a mix between Al Davis and Tom Landry because he's got the little fedora.
Yeah. He's definitely got that Landry fedora. And he's a winner, Steve. Perennial championship manager, coach, whatever you want to call him. And this guy's philosophy is just win, baby. And he's got that shit tatted on his hands, jailhouse style. Doesn't hesitate to show the kids either. And this is honestly the coolest thing I've ever seen a coach do, especially for Little League. He doesn't even grace anybody with his presence. He's just in the whip, watching from afar like, I've already done all I needed to do. I just got to wait for that dub to come in.
Tried and true champ. I can do this remote.
Ed Narens, dude, legend. Never went on to do much more other than Wellsville Pee Wee baseball, but Pete wants to be a winner, and Narens is going to get him there. Then we go to that slaptastic song. Honestly, dude, it grows on me. The older I get, it's just got to be a top 5 kid show song. Polaris just knocked it out of the park.
They struck gold for real. Cut to the slush shack, and it's like a slushy paradise. And a bonus, his femme friend, Ellen, she works there. So if they get free slushies after they win, it's another chance to see his friend Ellen.
Aww. And this slush shack, every baseball field has this. But this is special. This guy running it, I forget what his name is. I think it's Oppenheimer.
Like, it's really Lynch-like for kids.
He's got these slushy machines, and it's really his life's passion. But after every win, you get one of these freebies, but no one gets a freebie before Narens shows up and gets that special good. Because they got all these flavors, but he wants that secret sauce called Orange Julius. And even
Orange
Lazarus. And even Oppenheimer's like, I told you, man, we can't do that. You can't have that. It's too good.
So he throws some wadded up cash at his face, like, all right, punk ass, here,
Slush
give me
money.
some orange Lazarus.
Here's
Yeah, some slush
Here's
money.
some slush money, you bitch. So Oppenheimer, he's created a monster. And he like tells Ellen about it. 'Cause she's like, what is the deal with this? And he's like, I've created the perfect beverage. So icy, so smooth, so creamy. It's the perfect thing. Everything. It's umami in a drink.
I want
I
it so
want it.
bad.
I do kind of want this, honestly. I'll take an orange
Mm.
Lazarus, Steve.
It seems like it tastes like a orange creamsicle milkshake slush.
One thing about it is it's so icy and like refreshing that it can lock you up in the ultimate brain freeze scenario.
In a few seconds.
I mean, you have a couple of slurps of this too quick, you're down in a big way.
Central nervous system just shuts down. Some say he needs it for the ice cold water in his veins, talking about Narins, because he's sipping it like there's no tomorrow. It's nothing.
Just win, baby. And all Pete cares about are the dubs. And they're coming, Steve. He's got even these chuds squatted up, making some plays on the field. But one day that all comes crashing down because Teddy, who we've seen in other episodes of this, Pete's most chuddish of friends, he gets a flu shot, as one does. But you know, the flu shot contains just a little bit of the virus. And these slushies are so good. Teddy's fucking lipping the straw and just giving everybody a sip. And then his flu just transfers to everybody. And everybody's sick, Steve. So everybody's down. And the roster is just, I mean, to call these guys the replacements it's just an insult.
And then what happens next is a 5-game losing streak. And Mr. Narins, he doesn't take losing lying down. So he has the best strategy any team has ever seen. He has a plan. And then we see Lil Pete for the first time. And he was like the Ty Cobb of trash talk, apparently, because now it's Naren's best move.
He just needs a Lazzy, Steve, and he can't get it if he doesn't get that dub. So Little Pete, I mean, this kid can wreck a game. He doesn't even play a play. Hey, batter. Hey, batter, you sebaceous, bloody puss bug kid.
Your mom has a bigger dick than your dad. You watch mosquitoes, fuck you, loser.
He's getting in people's heads, Steve. He's literally unleashing verbal hell on these teams. And he's just one man ganging them. You don't even really need to score. You just got to like bunt your way to 1 point, and then he takes care of the rest.
It's an art to it.
I mean, he's him, Kevin Garnett, Bill Laimbeer. These are people.
Rodman.
Larry Bird, apparently, even. So, Little Pete, he's the secret weapon now. But now that the team's back on track, Big Pete's starting to think, like, what is the cost here? Where's the purity of the game at?
The guy, Bill, his name is Bill, and he's at bat. He says to Pete, like, can you do anything about your little brother? And he's like, look, I'm sorry, Bill. I just hope you don't have any secrets. And he's at bat. Like Lil Pete, he's just staring at Lil Pete. Lil Pete hasn't even said anything. He's going back and forth, and he's just like, you know what? Screw it.
Yeah, I ate my boogers, dude. Fine. Like everybody does it, okay? Jesus, it's fine. What else you got? Yeah, I stuck a banana in my ass one time. Fine. I eat my jerk off, okay? When I'm done, I eat it.
You guys win, all right?
Fuck you guys. But, I mean, he just leaves. I mean, I don't even know what happens to Bill after this. This can't sustain. And all this success now, like Pete's rubbing off on other players. Teddy, who's a chud, he's getting out of hand. He's like trying to get his slush, and Oppenheimer's like, hey man, just chill. Instead, he's like, yeah, whatever, Slushenheimer, give me my shit.
That was hilarious. Good one, Teddy.
Slushenheimer. Pete's like getting worried now, Big Pete. So he tries to talk to Narins, but Narins goes fully psycho on him. He's like, oh, you don't like what I'm doing? Because I thought the only knowledge you had was because of what I gave you, what I taught you. I took you from a ball of clay. No, fuck that. He fingers the Lazarus, Steve, and he's like, I took you from silt, less than dirt, and I fucking molded you into the baseball player, and you turned your back on me? Shame on you.
Just win, baby. Pete, he's like, look, I wanted to win, but just not in his way. So his good conscience, he's listening to that side on his shoulder. And he's like, man, what do I do now? And then he sees the Shaq sign. It's like, oh, I think I figured it out.
Yeah.
So he has Oppenheimer put together like a gallon of orange Lazarus and bring it to the game and make it extra frosty.
Oppenheimer's like, that's a level of frost that I've never, no slushy's gone to before. That's almost too dangerous. This is a league championship, Steve, and Big Pete wants this to be even playing field. And I do like one other thing that happened whenever Narens confronts Big Pete about turning his back on him for the success. After Pete leaves, Narens just talks because Narens is a drug addict for the Lazarus, Steve, and he sits there and he's like, "The Lazarus would never turn its back on me. I love you." Again, he's a psycho, but we get to the league championship. Oppenheimer and Ellen are doing some kind of nuclear level Lazarus creation where the shit's smoking, there's alarms going off, but little Pete's in rare form. He's got everybody shook, and it gets to the point where he doesn't even have to say any insults. He says nothing. He just starts saying random words and the team falls apart. He's just like, medulla oblongata, and the kid strikes out.
One of the pitchers hits a car.
I mean, little Pete's kind of doing a Norm Macdonald, Burt Reynolds impersonation for a little bit of this. He's just chewing gum and saying, medulla oblongata.
Yeah.
Chud. And then the Lazzy shows up, Steve. That Lazarus shows up, and Narens is like, what's going on here? And Pete's pulling a fast one. He's like, the game's in the hand here. Why wait? Let's all treat ourselves.
Let's pop the bubbly now.
And little Pete almost pulls the rug out from under the plan because he's like, wait a second. You try it first. And Big Pete does like the fake Coke sniff where he just is like, oh, it's creamy and cold and delicious. Try some. So everybody, the Lazarus is going out. Keep in mind, this is the coldest Lazarus, the coldest slushy on record. Everybody's sucking it down, and then they go into like a K-hole. Because they all got the freeze, Steve. Little Pete's climbing on fences. He's so fucked up.
Getting high off that Lazarus, man. And Big Pete, he finally confronts Little Pete because he wants an end to this. He's like, look, man, if you destroy me, you destroy baseball. One of the things Lil Pete had over his head is like, look, if you try to stop me, I will let everyone know why mom won't. Did you catch that?
Why mom won't let you buy lard anymore or something like
It's
that.
something.
Yeah. Narens comes over and is like, how dare you? And then he tells Little Pete, take him out. So Little Pete's sitting there and he's about to lay it down, but Pete says, like, dude, you can't do this. You're going to do this to me. You're killing baseball. So that gets into Little Pete's head. Instead of turning on his brother, he turns that eye over to Narens, and he starts telling Narens little secrets out loud. He's like, gravy boat, elementary backstroke, squeezy salesman. And Narens like, what? What the hell?
Yeah.
How do you know about this? And he leaves. But Narens I like the pettiness of Narens. He's like, fuck you guys. Just takes the Lazarus with him. Because he's an addict, Steve.
Yeah, he's strung out. The team eventually loses, but it doesn't feel like a failure, Big Pete says. No one ever saw Mr. Narens again. He kept going until that Lazarus ran out.
Then he was sucking dick on the street for Orange Julius just to make come on, baby.
Any more Lazarus?
Pete's like, it's pure baseball. They just get drilled. The guy drills like a home run and the game's over with. So I just love this. This is the weirdness of Pete and Pete. I think this is a great episode, a great example of the show.
The silver lining was, next year I might not be on a winning team, but maybe that's not what it takes to be a winner. That following year, 1994, Simpsons is airing season 6, episode 2, Lisa's Rival. Lisa is jealous when a new girl in class is smarter than she is. Homer obtains a giant mound of sugar. Hilarity ensues.
I can sympathize with this. I think this is a great Lisa episode. She's in second grade. There's a new chick in class, Steve. Allison. And Lisa,
Bitch.
She's the nerd. She's getting pushed around, like called brain girl and stuff. And she goes over to try to talk to Allison because she's like, oh, a new girl. Fun that somebody that can actually communicate at a second grade level or whatever she says. Some smart joke. But turns out, Steve, Allison's younger. She's been skipped a grade, so technically smarter. And it just seems like she's better at everything that Lisa loves. You know? Lisa's like, oh, great. You play that too? Great. Fucking bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to that place too? Oh, that's great. That's where you practice? Oh, bitch.
Fucking bitch. It's basically Lisa's now. It's not even special. She was the smart girl, but now she's a little scared about where her identity is going, I guess. They play saxophone. Coincidence. And they're both auditioning for first chair in the saxophone in the band, Steve.
The irony. We cut to Homer and Bart driving while trying to eat a slice of pizza, and they veer off and they run into a sugar tank, a tank full of sugar. When Homer sees all of this sugar on the ground, he's like, look, Bart, we made it. White gold, Texas tea, sweetener.
I mean, that's a lot of sugar, Steve. Homer knows an opportunity when he sees one. You know, I don't necessarily understand the business that you're going to do here, but he needs to get some of that sugar.
Sugar. Packs the whole trunk.
I don't know if he gets it all, but basically his scheme is it's very Always Sunny. They did this before that. Let's go door to door sugar sales. You know, fuck it.
And back at the Simpson household, Lisa, she asked her mom, like, why haven't I skipped a grade? Like, I should. I'm smart enough. Maybe you should be a little nicer to Principal Skinner, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Forrest Gump? She did some stuff. She just wasn't supposed to do it, Steve. Lisa's just a smart, normal girl. She's not special like Allison.
When they're at the dinner table, as they're trying to eat, they couldn't help but notice, like, why am I losing teeth? What's going on? And Homer's like, I put sugar in everything.
You got to use it before you lose it. I don't understand getting high on the own supplies, Steve. That's not right.
You know, you should have learned from Tony Montana. And then now we're at the band audition. Lisa, she plays a nice tune. She's been putting her work in, rehearsing and whatnot. And then right after that, Allison, she plays a tune and she goes the F off.
Yeah. I mean, she's Bill Clinton on Arsenio, and Lisa's just playing backup in the Letterman band. But this leads to like a howling piano style saxophone duel off where Lisa's like, oh, you got that? Well, let me throw a little Curly Sue. It's
A battle of the saxes, if you will.
get that sax. Oh, I also like because Lisa does practice for this quite a bit, and at the beginning, she's trying to find a place to practice. Everyone's kicking her out, and Marge has this weird like sex dream about Fabio, like a boat, and she wakes up because Lisa's playing. She's like, "Lisa, stop wrecking my sex. I mean, sex or whatever."
Yeah.
They're going toe to toe, Steve. And Lisa, she's turning red. Allison's turning red. But at like the climax of this duel off, Lisa just passes the fuck out, Steve.
Then the next scene, she wakes up out of her coma and she's surrounded by everyone. The conductor lets her know that she didn't make the band. It's a dream. And she wakes up from it. The conductor's like, hey, Lisa, you made it. She's like, what? I made the team? No, you made it back to consciousness. Allison made the team.
You're going to be playing back up to her now. And she screams like the bad dream she had previously.
Lisa, she confesses to her mom, like, this girl's better than me in everything. That made me special.
And Marge is a mom, Steve. She's like, you're special. Like, you don't have to worry about what other people are doing. She gives good advice, but Lisa ain't hearing it. It's like, you don't know this bitch like I know her. She is evil, right?
It doesn't make sense when you're bitter. But now we're at Homer going door to door selling sugar, and it's Principal Skinner at the door. He's like talking to his mom. Seymour, what are you doing? I'm talking to the sugar man.
I'm talking to the door sugar man, Mom. Because he's all about it. Like, you think this is a dumb idea. Skinner's all into it, but his mom won't let him go. And he's like, thanks for getting me in trouble, Simpson. I'm grounded.
We cut back to school, and now we see Allison's getting bullied in those same situations where it'd be Lisa being the butt of the joke. Lisa sees this from a distance. She can't help but feel a certain way. Like, that was supposed to be me that got pushed over and called the brain queen.
Yeah. She's even taken that from me. She used to be that person in the mud.
Homer, he announced that I made $1, but Marge is like, what, you lost $40 by not going to work. And your boss said that if you don't go in on Friday, don't even bother coming in on Monday. Woohoo! 4-day weekend.
He is a little paranoid because this sugar pile is just in his yard, Steve. So anybody can come and get it. So you gotta have some security. You gotta figure it out. This isn't just a side hustle now, Steve. It's all consuming.
Lisa, we get a dream sequence from her as she's trying to console herself, saying that, you know what, there's nothing wrong with being second best. And then in her dream, she's in a concert with like the number twos, if you will, Garfunkel, Oates, and I don't know who the third person was.
I'm spacing. I didn't write it down. Yeah, but it's just no fun. Who wants to go see the second best musicians, That's a Warren concert, basically.
Yeah. For some reason, like when she wakes up, Bart tells her about Milhouse, who's like in a fugitive situation. I don't know how we got there.
I think Bart called the feds on him to fuck with him because he just keeps alerting them to where Milhouse is. Because Bart's like, look, this whole situation you got with Allison, it can be taken care of in a certain way that maybe isn't the best way. But just like my boy Milhouse, he's being tailed by the FBI right now. So we could get some with Allison the same hemisphere. He's trying to turn Lisa to the dark side, basically.
She's like, you know what? I don't have to be so petty. I should be nice to her and look at her as a friend, not a competitor. We cut to Allison's house. She has Lisa over and she meets Allison's dad. Oh, I've heard such great things about you, Lisa. You're a wonderful person. I'm glad someone can play our anagram game.
And Allison's like, we take the names of famous celebrities and rearrange the letters to a description of that celebrity. Lisa's like, oh, wow. Because, this is definitely not what happens at the Simpson household. It's all very intelligent because I think her dad's like a professor. Mom's like an artist or something. So she's walking into like the freaking Louvre and she's a Dollar Tree house, But Allison gives some example of this anagram thing. And then the dad's like, oh, hey, here, Lisa, let you try one. And Lisa doesn't know. She's dumb, in comparison. And I like the dad's energy. He's like, oh, well, here, maybe try bouncing this ball. Maybe this is more than me.
We go upstairs to Allison's room, and Lisa sees that Allison already has her diorama prepared, and it's not even due for like another week.
And on top of that, as Allison's taking her up to the room, she's like, oh, check out this crazy trophy room that's blinding Lisa. She's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I have a second place trophy. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. But she's like, oh, you want to see this cool diorama I did for the competition? And Lisa's like, that shit's not due for like a week or whatever. And she's like, it's diorama. Like, how can I wait?
Yeah.
And
it's top notch.
Brain, yeah. And even Lisa's a brain. And she's like, this is a little much. Okay. Take a day off, bitch.
It's very detailed.
This one is a recreation of that Edgar Allan Poe story, A Telltale Heart, where they bury a guy in the floor and it drives the dude crazy because he can like hear the guy's heart beating in the floorboards. So like it's just a recreation of that. But she's like, I even used a metronome to recreate the Telltale Heart thing, and she turns it on and it's like and just like makes the floor come up. And Lisa's like, this shit's like 4D, like holy shit. And she's having an inner freak out. You think that's great.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Oh shit. Man, I fucked up the anagram game. Jesus.
Allison's voiced by Winona Ryder. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh wow. I didn't place that, but shout out. Well, see, Lisa, Allison's gonna end up stealing a lot of shit when she gets older, so it's okay. You're gonna win.
Yeah.
So now we cut the Simpsons household. This is where we see Homer guarding the sugar piles, Steve. Is this where we see that?
Yeah.
I do like the Scarface reference we get. First you get the sugar, then you get the money.
Then you get the women.
And Marge comes out because it's like the morning and she's like, hey, you can't be just sitting here guarding your sugar. And he's like, are you kidding me? Anybody could come here and take the sugar at any time. I have to be constantly vigilant on this. This is our nest egg. She's like, who's going to steal this pile of sugar? And then Homer's like, oh, hold on a second. It pulls like an Englishman out of the sugar, I feel like. And
Drinking tea.
yeah. He's like, oh, did you pay for that? And the guy's like, no. I just needed a nip of sugar for my tea. He's like from Peaky Blinders Englishman, Steve.
Marge, she's adamant. Get rid of that sugar. As she's saying that, several swarms of bees come to that sugar mound.
To me, I'd be like, dream's over. I'm not going to get these bees off of it. But we'll get to that, Steve, because this might be a new business pivot. But this is where we cut to Lisa, and she's working on her diorama. She's got to upgrade. She's under the gun. So this is the one that I think, I don't know if it's a Christmas Carol, but it's like some Charles Dickens thing. It looks good. It doesn't have like a moving piece, but it's like a bunch of detailed art. She turns like a fan on or something, and the shit goes out the window. It's destroyed.
Because she was trying to do like a snow simulation. But Bart steps in like, look, I got a plan. When Allison comes out of her house, we soak her with the hose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Lisa's like, what's that going to do? It's like,
Yeah.
yo, okay. Well, what about this? Maybe we just sabotage her little diorama. We'll take care of that. Obviously going to win. She's tempted, Steve. She's Anakin Skywalker at this point. She's going to the dark side. She's like, you know what, Bart? You know what, devil on my shoulder? Sounds like a plan.
We cut to some beekeepers, and they can sense that some bees are in the area. I think that's how it went.
They have like a honey thing, and their bees are gone or something. So they're like, what happened? So as they're talking about it, they see a bee and they follow it. And he's like, get to the bee mobile or whatever. And the guy's like, you mean your Toyota Tercel? He's like, yeah. But they follow the bee and they get to Homer's and they see where it's at. And lo and behold, Steve, this isn't a disaster. These guys are like, look, great, genius idea. You lure our bees to your sugar and make us pay you a bunch of money to get our bees back. And Homer's like, wait, what? But they want to pay him $2,000, Steve, for these bees.
Two of them things?
Shit. I could still, let me get a pile of sugar right now. I can use 2 G's.
Sugar.
White lines. And they're going to write the check, Steve. They're writing the check. They're like, you got over on us. But as they're writing the check, it starts raining. And that sugar pile starts melting. The one guy's like, oh, yo, chill on that check real quick. The bees go away. So Homer's just like, no, it's melting. What a world.
Now we're at the school diorama. Everyone's showing off their projects. We got Nelson. He has a grape smashing display, kind of like Gallagher. And we got Uter, who does a Charlie in a Chocolate Factory diorama, but he ate it all.
You said you were going to judge mine first. And Bart, he's fully on board with Lisa, so he waits. He makes a diversion so Lisa can swap out Allison's good diorama with his version. We don't know what it is yet.
Hey, it's Bart, and he's doing stuff.
Bart, stop causing a distraction.
Yeah.
But Lisa does it, and she hides it conveniently, aproposly, in a little like secret compartment in the floor, right? So Skinner gets over to Allison's. He already knows this chick. He's like, get the ribbon ready. It's going to be Ace. And they pull the cover off, and it's just a bleeding cow heart, Steve. And everyone's like, oh my God. Skinner's pissed. He's like, what is this? He basically goes off on Allison. He's really like Simon Cowell judging this shit, to be honest.
But Allison tries to tell him, like, this isn't mine.
I didn't do this.
I have another one. Yeah. Oh, well, where's this phantom diorama? You got any answer for that?
Lisa's watching all this. It starts like nagging at her. He keeps going off, and it just keeps intensifying the pressure. And Lisa's like, yeah, actually, I found it. I just found it. It's right here. Sorry about that. And they show the real thing, and it's nothing's wrong with it. It's working. And Skinner's like not impressed. Great. It's very reductionist. You know, he's very adult judging this. So then he's like, okay, Lisa Simpson, let's see this. Lisa unveils hers, and he's like, this shit sucks too.
Yeah. Next.
And then they get to, I think it's Ralph's. They pull the cover off his, and his are just like unopened original Star Wars toys. Wait, what? And like Skinner's a fan. He wants Chewie. Yeah. Chewie's his favorite. And then the one like kind of like depressed teacher comes over and is like, look, this is going on too long. And Skinner's like, well, Ralph won, and that's it.
Yeah. Cut to the girls, and Allison's like, you know what? I'm actually kind of glad I lost. I beat the smart kids. And then he trips and falls. Oh. I beat my weapon.
That's a classic line. But Lisa and Allison make up. Lisa apologizes. She's like, I'm sorry I did that. I was just jealous. You know, and I think Allison says something. So they're like best of friends now. And Ralph falls. They even pick him up. And they're like, come on, Ralph. You can come over to Allison's and play the anagram game. And Allison explains it.
My cat's breath smells like cat poo.
Oh, that's a good episode, Steve. That's good Simpsoning right there.
You know, Mike Scully, who is an integral part in the success of Simpsons, especially in the 90s. This was his first episode. He was the writer and eventually become a showrunner for the show.
We always talk about specific characters, like the episodes that are centric to them being like bangers. I feel like Lisa has a lot of those good ones, you know?
Yeah, if it's Lisa-centric, more than likely it'll be a classic.
Hell yeah.
In 1998, Rounders premieres. A law student and his pal gamble for high stakes. Directed by John Dahl, starring Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Turturro, Famke Janssen, Gretchen Mol, John Malkovich, and Martin Landau.
I dig this movie. I think this is a good poker movie. There's a few of these, like gambling movies. I don't ever remember that Adam Sandler movie, that Uncut Gems movie that came out like few years ago. These movies about gamblers that are like addicts, always very frustrating to me because it's like, just leave, just take your money and leave. Inevitably, you can't fucking do that shit.
Sandler was annoying the hell out of me in that movie, like, because it's the same deal, man. But Rounders, I didn't even get a chance to watch it, but I wanted to cover it because I knew that you had it in your collection.
Hell
and
yeah.
If Matt had it in his catalog, it had to be good.
You read off the list of celebrities in it. Damon's great in this, and he's basically like a guy who's great at cards. He's got a buddy who's a piece of shit who gets involved with all these gangsters that he's in deep with, who's played by Edward Norton, who's great. He's a great like scumbag friend in this, because he kind of gets Matt Damon involved. Malkovich plays, I think his name's like something KGB, but he's just like a Russian gambler. And he's like centric to it. He's the one that like they owe the most money to. Him and Matt Damon have like this really great back and forth competition at the end. It's like the end of the movie, which is the most insanely frustrating part. Just a lot to like about this movie. It's got style. Matt Damon's the main character. And when he's gambling, I think something fun that they do is they kind of put you in his thought process. He's narrating it, so he kind of like tells you is like what's going through his head, and like that's kind of how you move forward with the stories through those narrations. And I just think in terms of like a gambling movie, this is a fun one. This is a nice like 90s. It's not like too action packed or anything, but just a lot of good acting, a A lot of famous people. I mean, you get to see Matt Damon get roughed up a lot too, which is nice. Get that pretty face a little banged up while he's gambling with all these degens. Charlie KGB is what that guy is, Malkovich's name, but he's great in it. Get this man his money. He's got this like deep, thick Russian accent. He's great. He eats Oreos while he gambles, and I always respected that. He's like sitting there like licking fucking Oreos while people are playing cards and shit. It's great.
What are your callbacks for this week?
This is kind of just like an aside to you. It's not really a callback, but we had on the list this thing called the Mark Wahlberg Show.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there racking my brain going, I don't remember Marky fucking Mark ever having like a talk show or anything. And I'm looking for it, Steve. Come to find out, it is Mark Wahlberg, but this is not the Mark Wahlberg that we all know and love. This is not fucking Eddie Adams from Torrance.
Because this Wahlberg doesn't have the H, and that I was led down that rabbit hole too. It was like, oh, and I actually remember this guy. Like, I actually watched this like show a couple times in the afternoon. Like, dude, that's totally not Dirk Diggler.
That ain't Dirk.
No.
So, but for a while I was convinced, like, damn, Mark Wahlberg had a damn talk show
this early in the game. Like, what?
Take my robot cars. Park them over in the yard.
In the yard.
It's my big dick. I'm here to fuck. This show is insane. But no, that's it. That's it, Steve. What about you?
Just to piggyback off that, for some reason, 9/11 in the 90s, in 95, that was the day of giving a celebrity or just a talk show. Because also Danny Bonaducci, he had a talk show that debuted on that same day. Gabrielle Carteris, the mother hen of Beverly Hills 90210, she had a talk show. And then Tempest Bledsoe from Cosby Show. I don't think I had that on the list, but she had a talk show. She was the third oldest daughter. And yeah, I forgot that was a thing, but
they were just like, everyone gets one. Oprah just gave away cars. They were giving away talk shows like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Screech had a talk show. You didn't remember this?
Right.
Kevin Green from the Pittsburgh Steelers had a talk show? What the hell?
Alfie from My Brother and Me had a talk show?
Kendall Gill had a talk show?
Mario Lopez? But yeah, that's all I got, man. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister she's my cherry pie, sucking on my dick, and I don't know why. Please check out Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Mad G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the flat kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Just win, baby.